So now we have disassociated the public IPs of the VMLB1 and VMLB2. So that might not allow us to connect a RDP connection to these two VMs. So we also can access those two VMs from our load balancer. So if I will go to our VMLB2.RDP, so it's trying to connect, but it is initializing the remote connection, but it's getting failed. So let's cancel that. And the VM you are seeing is for the VM2. So what we can do now? So we can create our inbound NAT rule for VM2 and VM1 and VM2. So here we have one uh, NAT rule for our VM1. So similarly, we can create another NAT rule for the VM2. Let's go to the inbound NAT rules. Then the name can be NAT VM2, and I can choose the backend pools, my backend pool, and the front-end IP that I can give as my load balancer IP because I want to connect to my VM2 via my load balancer. So for the VM1, we have given 49152 as a port. So for VM2, we can give the next number as 49153, and we can see the current number of machines in the backend pool is 2, and then the backend port. So the backend port will be 3389. The backend pool, port, and protocol combination eventer matches another rule used by this load balancer and the front end. This inbound NAT rule, network IP config, and port combination of each load balancing rule and inbound NAT rule on a load balancer must be unique. So this we can in the backend port we can give 49153, and here we can give 3389. So here we are ready with our setup. So what exactly it does is like we are pretty much sure about the RDP connection has to be established from the port 3389, and the backend port we can give like the port range what we are desired to give like from 49152, 49153, 49154, like that. So now we are setting up the NAT rule for this, and let's save it. So now we have the two VMs, and we in the two VMs we are connecting to our front-end IP of the load balancer, but the port range is like is from 3393. It will goes to the front-end IP range, and the target will be my backend pool. So we can go ahead to the NAT VM2. So I can go to devices, and I can add one PC over here. I can give the load balancer IP with 49153, and here we can go to this VM2. So we can give the Azure user and password. So now we are able to connect to the VM2 as well. So here we are having 49153, and the other port is having 49152. But both of the VMs are we are like directly hitting to the load balancer frontend IP 4.187.131.52. So like in that way we can add our inbound NAT rules to connect or to do some RTP connections from the same frontend IP which is associated to the public IP, and the load balancer will do the traffic routing from load balancer front-end IP to our backend pool. So with two different ports, this will be the target port, and we cannot change the RTP port, which is our 3389. As we already know, these are the resort ports for DNS 53, for HTTP 80, for HTTPS 443, just like that for SSH 22, and for RTP 3389. So we just have to change the target port, not for the port for RTP 3389. So in that way, we can connect from the load balancer to our VM.